of the election. We had 4 candidates for 3 3-year terms: Richard De Silva Jr., 2007-96, John Denise, 2064, Kim Barron, 2006-37, and Peter Windrikowitz, 1706. At this time, I'd like to administer the oath to the 3 elected board members. And if we could start with Ms. Barron. I will let you read that.
Okay. I, Kim Barron, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and this state under the authority of the people, so help me God. I, Kim Barron, do solemnly swear that I possess the qualifications prescribed by law for the office of member of a Board of Education, and that I am not disqualified as a voter pursuant to RS 19-4-1, nor disqualified due to any conviction of a crime or offense listed in New Jersey Statute 18A 12-1, and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties that the office according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
I need to bring my own, or you guys?
Either one is fine.
I, Richard A. De Silva Jr., do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and this state under the authority of the people, so help me God. I, Richard A. De Silva Jr., do solemnly swear that I possess the qualifications prescribed by law for the office of member of a Board of Education, and that I am not disqualified as a voter pursuant to Title 19-4-1, nor disqualified due to conviction of a crime or offense listed in New Jersey Senate Act 18A 12-1, and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of that office according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Welcome back. Mr. Denise.
I, John Denise, solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and this state under the authority of the people, so help me God. I, John Denise, do solemnly swear that I possess the qualifications prescribed by law for the office of member of Board of Education, and that I am not disqualified as a voter pursuant to RS 19:4-1, nor disqualified due to conviction of crime or offense listed in NJS 18A:12-1, and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of that office according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Welcome aboard. Okay, roll call. Mrs. Barron?
Here.
Mrs. Curry?
Here.
Mr. D'Angelo?
Here.
Mrs. Davis?
Here.
Mr. De Silva?
Here.
Mr. Denise?
Here.
Mr. Dolan?
Here.
Mr. Evanetti?
Here.
And Mr. Salverini?
Yes.
Adequate notice of agenda of this meeting has been provided to the Ridgewood News specifying that the Mahwah Board of Education will meet on January 7, 2015 in the administrative offices, 60 Ridge Road, Mahwah, New Jersey. A copy was filed with the township clerk. Mr. De Silva, would you read us the pledge?
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I will take a nomination for President of the Mahwah Board of Education. Ms. Curry?
I nominate Ms. Davis.
Any other nominations for President of the Mahwah Board of Education? And I will have a vote for appointing Chris Davis as President of the Board. Mrs. Barron?
Yes.
Mrs. Curry?
Yes.
Mr. D'Angelo?
Yes.
Mrs. Davis?
Yes.
Yes.
There's no money to be made, so you can vote on it.
You're still gonna lose.
Mr. Denise?
Yes.
Mr. Dolan?
Yes.
Mr. Evanetti?
Yes.
And Mr.
Yes.
Salderini. Congratulations.
Thank you. That was me.
Bumped her up.
All right. We are reorganizing. This is a reorganization, absolutely.
It's getting kind of tricky. You look good up there.
Thanks. It's a
Going to,
different perspective. Okay. At this time, do I accept the gavel? Okay.
You want to hit it once?
There we go. All right, at this time, I'd like to accept nominations for first vice president. John,
Mr. Salderini?
do I need a second?
no.
Ask for any other nominations.
Are there any other nominations for first vice president?
All right. For Mr. Salderini, Mrs. Barron?
Yes.
Mrs. Curry?
Yes.
Mr. D'Angelo?
Yes.
Mrs. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. De Silva?
Yes.
Mr. Denise?
Yes.
Mr. Dolan?
Yes.
Mr. Evanetti?
Yes.
And Mr. Salderini?
Yes.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
At this time, I'd like to ask for nominations for second vice president.
I'll take that. Sure.
Go ahead.
John Dolan?
Are there, John Dolan, are there any other nominations? Okay.
Okay, Mrs. Barron?
Yes.
Mrs. Curry?
Yes.
Mr. D'Angelo?
Yes.
Mrs. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. De Silva?
Yes.
Mr. Denise?
Yes.
Mr. Dolan?
Yes.
Mr. Evanetti?
Yes.
Yes.
And Mr. Salderini?
Congratulations.
Well done, poor thing.
Okay, so now. Okay, so, thanks, everybody. All right, so, now I'd like to move, resolutions 4 through 6. Do I have a motion, please? Rick, now I'm all. Do I have a second, please? Sorry, and I know all of your names. You know it. Do I have a second, please? John? Any discussion? Okay.
Okay, the meeting schedule will be published after tonight's meeting. Mrs. Barron?
Yes.
Mrs. Curry?
Yes.
Mr. D'Angelo?
Yes.
Mr. De Silva?
Yes.
Mr. Denise?
Yes.
Mr. Dolan?
Yes.
Mr. Evanetti?
Yes.
Mr. Salderini?
Yes.
And Mrs. Davis?
Yes. Okay. I'd like to move numbers 1 through 19. Do I have a motion, please? Doug, and a second?
We're gonna get names.
Oh. Well, we're gonna do it, we're gonna move them first, then we'll come back to it. A second? Suzanne? Okay, and we need names for this. Okay. All right, so we do need some volunteers. I need a representative for the Bergen County Schools Association. Anybody want to jump in? This would be the person who would act as the Board of Education's representative to the Bergen County Schools Association. Suzanne?
Unless do you want to do it?
I don't, I can't.
It's extra meetings. Okay.
I'll do it.
Thank you, Suzanne. Would anyone like to serve as an alternate?
I'll serve as an alternate.
Thank you, Kim. Okay. Should I move on to the second?
Mm-hmm.
All right, now I also need a volunteer for a representative to the New Jersey School Boards Association Legislative Committee.
What does that entail?
Going to meetings, New Jersey School Boards meetings, and it's a very important, maybe like the liaison to what's going on throughout the state and other
everybody meets from different
What's
boards.
going on in Trenton?
Yeah.
Trent or
Right.
the
Oh,
principal?
come on, you love
Yeah.
this stuff, go ahead,
I
you
know,
ran
I-
on it, you
They have
ran,
lots-
that's
I
how
was just
you ran
on
your,
trend today.
that's how you
Yeah.
ran your election, so step up and go for it.
What, do you know have any idea about how many meetings there are, what they're?
It's-
Suzanne?
Yeah, they're always far away. Not everyone goes to all of them, but there's more important ones when they do resolutions. Maybe, I think they do the delegate resolutions maybe twice a year.
Oh, okay.
But there
It's
are
not-
down in Trenton, some of them.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, and do I have, I need an alternate for that as well. Suzanne, thank you. Okay. I also need a person to serve as the liaison to the Mahwah Schools Foundation. Thank you, Rick. Okay. And I think that covers it, so.
So Doug and Suzanne, if you have any problem adding those names into that list, you approve and seconded the motion.
I have no problem.
You will, but you don't tonight.
No, she's good. Hold on. Oh, here it is, okay. We need to vote on the roll call on that for 19. Okay, just need a roll call.
Appointments 1 through 19. Mrs. Barron?
Yes.
Mrs. Curry?
Yes.
Mr. D'Angelo?
Yes.
Mrs. Silva?
Yes.
Mr. Denise?
Yes on 1 through 4. No on 5. Abstain on 6 through 9. No on 10. Abstain on 11. Abstain on 12. Abstain on 13.
Just make sure I got that right. 1 through 4, yes. No to 5, abstain 6 through 9. No to 10, abstain on 11 through 13.
Correct. Are we doing the 19?
219. yeah.
219? Yes on 14 to 19.
Okay. Okay. And Mr. Dolan?
Yes.
Mr. Ebenetti?
Yes.
Mr. Salverini? And Mrs. Davis?
Yes. Okay, I need a motion for numbers, approvals for 1 through 6. Rick, and second Doug. Discussion?
Policy's mandatory, 8330. Yes.
Okay.
Roll call.
1 through 6, Mrs. Barron?
Yes.
Mrs. Curry?
Yes.
Mr. D'Angelo?
Yes.
Mr. De Silva?
Yes.
Mr. Denise?
Yes on 1 and 2. Abstain on 3, 4, and 5. And yes on 6.
Okay. And Mr. Dolan?
Yes.
Mr. Ebenetti?
Yes.
Mr. Salverini?
Yes.
And Mrs. Davis?
Yes. Okay, I need a motion to recess to executive session. Doug, second, John? Okay. And Suzanne, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Agenda questions, okay. It's time for agenda questions. Please limit your questions at this time to resolutions under new business on this agenda. As a matter of fairness, you are asked to limit your questions to no more than 1 and your remarks to no more than 3 minutes. If you are here representing a group, please identify yourself, the group, and your position in the group. If you are here as an individual, please give us your name and address. This section of public participation will be limited to 15 minutes.
Okay. Evelyn Slockbauer, 43 Thunderhead Place. Dr. Sherwin, on page 11, F, the appointment for the service provider, could you please give a description of the social skills training project services that will be provided and how students will be assessed to receive these services?
It's a great question, Mrs. Slackberry,
Thank
that I
you.
am not prepared to answer at this
Okay,
point.
could you email me
I would
a
be more than
description?
happy to, and my apologies.
Okay, that's
Um,
okay.
Ms. Rizzo?
It's for one student who's receiving an evaluation.
Okay, is it possible, with talking to you tomorrow, that I can get a little more specific with that and email Mrs. Slackberry? Is
Oh,
that
yes,
acceptable?
yes, thank you very
Wonderful.
much.
I will do that, my apologies.
That's okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Brooke Gaslow, 552 Adirondack Court. I was just wondering if, for 12D, the policy 5339, the screening for dyslexia, can a little bit more detail be gone into? Because I had asked about it for my son, and because I know there's public law written about it, Public Law 2013, Section 210. There's dyslexia reading screener that states that screening has to be done if there's suspected dyslexia by the end of the second grade, or the first semester of the second grade. And I had asked about it, and they said, oh, we don't use the D word. And
Okay,
just kind of
what I'm thinking is
not
maybe
settled.
we could talk privately so that we can address the issues that you're referring to as far as your
Okay.
child is concerned. I can get a little bit more of the insight.
Okay.
Because I assume somebody who said we don't use the D word could be one of our staff, and so I prefer doing it
Yeah.
outside of this venue. Is
Okay.
that okay with you?
Sure.
Okay, consider it done. Hmm? Questions, if not, I'm going to superintendent's report. All right, thank you. Are there any more questions? Oh, wait, okay. Now, hold on one second, if we can. We're right here. We just finished this. Yes. If there are any questions, if there aren't, we can proceed. Okay, good. Okay. I don't need it. All right, oh, I got it now. Okay, all right, good, thank you. You're welcome. All right, guys, bear with me. Brand new at this. Okay, are there any more questions? Okay, thank you. Superintendent's report? Superintendent's report tonight is super brief. We've been back in school for 3 days after a very long break. I'm glad it wasn't that cold during that period of time. But everyone seems good to go and excited to be back, and a happy New Year to all. So that's my report this evening. Okay, and is an update on any open issues? Do we have not that I'm aware of, unless the board does. Any updates? Okay. Status reports on programs or projects. Mr. Fair?
Real brief. We've been fully working on preparing ourselves for the park assessment that will be here starting March 2nd. So we've been meeting with our content area supervisors, our assistant principals, our principals, and meeting with our tech team. So we're ready, just letting everyone know. And Happy New Year as well. That's it.
Okay. Finance and facilities? Okay. Well, since I've only been sitting here for about 10 minutes, I don't really have a report. I do want to wish everybody Happy New Year. Thank you for trusting in me to be in this position. I welcome our new board members, welcome you to the board, and welcome back to everybody else. Okay, thank you. Board committee reports. Okay, this, if you don't mind, I'm going to speak to that as well. In the past, I have sent out an email with a link to a survey where you can choose which board committees you would like to serve on. There may be some reconfiguring of the committees. We've been talking about trying to kind of streamline it, maybe do it better. So you'll see a reflection there. Some committee names may be changed. There may be some merging, and there may actually be some new committees. So you should get that, I would say, that email by the weekend. And please choose, follow the directions, choose what you're interested in. We will make every effort to accommodate your choices. But there are limits to how many people could be on a committee, specific committee. So you may not get all the committees that you choose. But we'll try to get you on something that you feel like you would like to be on. Okay? All right, I think that's it. Board member, board member remarks? Okay.
No, I'm good.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say something, I'm sorry. Okay, old business, I'd like to move, I need a motion for the minutes. Let's see, was that December 17th? John Dolan and Rick? Any discussion? Any discussion on that?
Well,
Okay. Any, okay, roll call?
Mrs. Barron?
Yes.
Mrs. Curry?
Yes.
Mr. D'Angelo?
Yes.
Mr. De Silva?
Yes.
Mr. Denise?
Abstain.
Mr. Dolan?
Yes.
Mr. Abernetty?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Salverini? And Mrs. Davis.
Abstain. Okay, new business, we're gonna move 12A through G. Okay, so I have a motion, John, Donna, and a second, Doug. Discussion? Okay.
12A through G. This is Barron.
Yes.
Oh, I can come to see. We're good?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Mrs. Curry?
Yes.
Mr. D'Angelo?
Yes.
Mr. De Silva?
Yes.
Mr. Denise?
Yes.
Mr. Dolan?
Yes.
Mr. Abernetty?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Salverini? And Mrs. Davis.
Yes. Okay, new business personnel, A through H. A motion, please. Doug, D'Angelo, and second, John Dolan. Discussion?
I just want to thank the two volunteers that we have.
Yes. It's wonderful. And it's good to, and thank you for thinking to thank them, that's very nice.
Okay. All right, 13A through H. Mrs. Barron?
Yes.
Mrs. Curry?
Yes.
Mr. D'Angelo?
Yes.
Mr. De Silva?
Yes.
Mr. Denise?
Yes.
Mr. Dolan?
Yes.
Mr. Abernetty?
Yes.
Mr. Salverini? And Mrs. Davis.
Yes. Okay, public questions or comments? The section of public participation will be limited to 15 minutes. Okay, going once. Okay, thank you. All right, motion to adjourn. Doug, second is John. In favor? All in favor?
Yep.
Doug and John. And
All in favor?
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Cheers.
Good job, Chris.
Thank you.
Good job.